Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today we had, I think it was gasoline. It's kind of funny.
It was rough, whatever it was.
So Elijah Craig Rye. And it's really funny because I've had their bourbon. You've had it as well. And it's really, really good. And we had the other rye, the Sagamore Rye. And that's really, really good. And you would think, hey, you put these two great tastes together and it comes out gasoline. No, so do not try that one. Just a little tip to you. And want to give a quick shout out to Primetime Treasure Hunter, a good friend of the channel. His show is coming on after ours, as it does every Wednesday. And he's got the Cha-Ching-a-thon on today.
Nice. Well, I was going to say welcome Four Horsemen, but then True North Treasures and Paul Beagle showed up. But anywho, we got Michael's in the house, Lori, Radio Parts, and the lovely Dawn.
There you go. I want to shout out to Michael. He did reach out to us and commented that he liked the channel, so definitely do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, throw me right off my game right from the start.
Me speaking throws you off your game. Sorry.
That's why I'm always on my game. Want to give a shout out to everybody. First, I want to give a good shout out to the Auction Professor, a good friend of the channel. He did have us on last week. I know we've probably got some new viewers out there because of it. Well, I do know so. I want to take a quick moment to just explain the live show to people because it's not like a lot of the other live shows out there. When we sat down and talked about the show, what we kind of envisioned it as is you're going down to your local bar. That's why it's the Hump Day Happy Hour. True. And you've got your two buddies down at the bar. That would be us. And where they're talking about we're talking about reselling, and you kind of join in and you ask us questions and you give your opinion about stuff and we ask you questions, and it's just a good time, good hour spent with your friends every Wednesday. And that's kind of what we've become, as a good family over here. So that's kind of the premise of the entire live show. So just want to let anybody new in know exactly how it's working. It's not like other people's shows.
Well, basically saying he's bored talking to me one-on-one. That's what it comes down to.
I was trying to be nice.
Oh, Michelle's here like usual. How's it going? 1987 Ventures. Hello. Eric's in the house. John Jones in the house. And Papergoy's in the house.
Oh, Papergoy, nice. Oh, John Jones. He was commenting. He was doing some deep dives on some videos. He was finding some videos we put up like 9 months ago and things like that, commenting on them. So definitely do appreciate that. So some of those are pretty good, but they were done a long time ago.
Yeah, it seems like forever ago.
It really does.
Ron is in the house, and he liked their tour.
Oh, very good. Yep. And then that was another thing. Whoa.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And that kind of ties into, I was just going to give a shout out for last week to Lazy Reseller Carl. He gave us a $5 super chat, which we do appreciate, towards your employee handbook.
Oh, awesome. Well, I have to.
Well, we bought a ream of paper. Oh, so we are on our way.
We got to start somewhere. Sadly, after I just hired 4 people, it's probably too late. I'm not hiring anymore at this point. So.
But thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much. Yeah. Definitely do appreciate it. And that really does help us out a lot. Anybody that watched the warehouse tour, and I think I'm violating parole there. Yeah. Anybody who watched the warehouse tour, part 1 got a lot of watches and a lot of likes. And every Tuesday will be the continuing parts of it. We have our usual nonsense on Thursdays, and then every Saturday our Bolo videos. So definitely do tune in every Tuesday for the warehouse tour, though. But thank you to everybody who contributed to the channel. It definitely helps us. And a lot of people were saying that the microphones we were using on the road is definitely a lot better. So that's really, really good. So
do we have sales numbers for quarter 4?
Not yet.
I don't think I do yet. You may. I'd like to say $1 million, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Historically, our quarter 4s are probably, what would you say, probably 40% of the year?
Yeah, I would say.
Because if it's a quarter of the year, normally 25%, probably 40%. Yeah.
I'd say, yeah.
But I don't think quarter 4, to be quite honest with you, at least historically, leaving last year out. Last year was an aberration. Usually it starts around mid-November, and it actually lasts till about mid-February, because October's not always, isn't always super hot, but then it picks up in November and goes through February.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think my eBay sales will be less from last year just because of the adult situation. I think Amazon's going to blow. We've already shattered last year's numbers, so we're going to blow
Oh,
that out of
wow.
the water. Yeah. So we've been putting more time and money into Amazon and just hoping for this Christmas season to knock it out of the park. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. So what do you, if I can ask, what are you putting on Amazon?
Anything with a UPC code, pretty much. But we're putting lots of sports cards on, DVDs, some records. I got that Laserdisc collection we bought from Ohio. We have a new employee that's, he's well versed in Laserdisc history, memorabilia, so he knows a lot of that stuff. So we got a Laserdisc guy, a DVD guy, a sports card guy. We have a toy guy, so we're catching from all angles. So
very good,
yeah,
very good. Let's do it a quick shameless plug, and then we'll find out what's going on with you, what's going on with everybody out there. Right. Just got to do the shameless plug. So anybody who's new to the channel, I try to do a humorous write-up, and try, I think, is the key word, about every video we have up. When you go there, down underneath there, we've got various items that we recommend, the CZUR Scanner, things like that. All you have to do, and also links to both of our stores, and all you have to do is click on either the Amazon or an eBay, any product that we have up, put a cookie on your computer. Anything that you purchase from that, we potentially could get money back on, which we definitely do appreciate, an affiliate fee. And again, we're putting it back into the channel. So it's not like, well, we are buying some rye, but not that kind of rye again. So we definitely do appreciate it. We've been concentrating so much on our upcoming Max Sold auction that I haven't listed anything anywhere else in like a week. Yeah, that's I'm going to get into my buying, or my potential buying, but why don't you take it off like you always do every week? Buys, sells, all that kind of thing.
Sales, like I said, eBay's been a little subpar, I'm going to say, but partly we're the reason, because we're not putting as much on eBay. We're, like I said, we're hitting Amazon, but Amazon sales have been good. Website's been up and down. The adult DVD site's doing well, so we're doing that. Not too bad. It could be better. eBay, wish eBay numbers were higher, but we'll get there.
I'm wondering if everybody out there in the chat could kind of shout out to us how your sales are, because we have a video up probably about a month ago about how we stalk, was the word we use, our competitors.
Yeah.
And I went and I looked at a lot of the competitors, and they had pretty poor weeks last week. They sold a lot fewer items last week. My sales are starting to pick up a little bit this week, but just wondering if everybody else's sales on eBay are picking up, or if they're still in the doldrums, as a lot of people's were last week.
And for me, it seems to be every Sunday. Maybe I'm going to blame it on football, but eBay's been horrible on Sundays for me. But at least now I know that, expecting that. So people we'll put more listings up before the weekend or something. See how that goes.
Well, you don't have anybody listing anything new on the weekends, do you?
Every other weekend, my manager does. Well, even on eBay, no, not too much. Yeah, eBay we take off on a weekend.
So yeah, that makes a big difference too. When you've got the things ending, that definitely drives traffic, or new things up, that definitely drives traffic. So it could be a combination for you of football and of just not having new items.
Right. Yeah.
I try to get something up, at least one item up every day, and I find that works for me, because it's always got something new up there.
Sure. Yeah.
And also wondering out there if anybody picked anything up over the week. Always like to hear about the things that people buy. That's always good to hear.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we got Paul's knocking it out. 90K in Amazon, pretty impressive. 25, yeah, very good. Yeah.
So 25K. So what is that? 300K on the one, and wow, whoa,
yeah, some big numbers.
Those are big boy numbers over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't mind me asking, Paul, what is it that you sell? As far as is it R8 kind of items, things like that?
And how many employees you have? Do you do it all yourself?
Just kind of curious about that, without getting too deep in, too deep of a dive into your business. Just kind of curious about that. Because I can't imagine doing 90K a month for well, I'm a one-man band, but doing that with this crap I saw on Amazon. I'll be honest.
Definitely gonna have some heavy ticket items, I would assume. So.
Yeah, because a lot of my items are $5, $6, $7 items that aren't worth listing on eBay. There's no way I could do 90K in a month. I can't do 90K in a year with the garbage I have. Picked up a nice Halo lot. Oh, huge Harley Davidson collectible lot.
Not too bad. Yeah,
20K a month on eBay. Wow.
Very good. Yeah.
You guys have to have channels. What am I doing sitting here?
Got some heavy hitters out there.
We really do. It's very, very good. Yeah.
Maybe I should hire them, and we'll just, own eBay.
There you go. We can form like a super group.
Oh yeah, sports cards, definitely.
Own a card shop. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, sports cards definitely are, and then you can flip those things very, very quickly. Why don't you tell about the problem that you had with sports cards on Amazon? with the not the rack pack, the blaster pack.
Although the one guy that this is the second time I had a different customer claim that my blaster or hanger boxes were rewrapped. They probably paid $20-$30. They got something they didn't like in it. So they're complaining to me. One guy said, I want to contact Panini. You're reselling the hanger box. And I said, for starters, it's $20. I've been on Amazon 12, 13 years. Secondly, we probably sold 1,000 hanger boxes since COVID, and you're the first person said that we reseal them. It's ridiculous. So.
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, you pick them up right from.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I mean, they get them from Walmart or whatever. They drive them right over. They don't keep them in their car and tamper with them. I've never had that happen. So it's crazy.
Well, the other crazy thing about it is, I could sit there and I could buy 5 packs or boxes or whatever it is, and I could have gotten a great one out of yours.
Yeah,
but I could still complain. I mean, because you don't know what he got. You don't have him on video opening it, so you don't know what he got.
These people know they can beat the system. Now he's going to return it. It's crazy.
Well, go ahead.
I had another scam going on today.
Well, here's the crazy thing, though. He's also returning it, I assume, opened.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know there's a way that you can do something or other, or at least on eBay, there would be a way that you could only give him half his money back because he didn't return it in the same condition.
Maybe if you can, well, that was Amazon. eBay would do more for you than Amazon would at that point. And I will be calling eBay tomorrow because I feel I got taken by a customer. And I didn't realize he had one positive feedback when he bought the items, but he bought 4 Windross trucks.
Okay.
I think with shipping it was about $100. They were all mint in box. So you remember those, those boxes are square.
Yeah.
They sit right inside. They're nice. So after we ship them, he goes, I'm going to have to cancel this or return them. So like a couple days go by.
Okay.
He probably didn't even get them yet. I didn't check. So we got them back today. He returned them. 4 padded flat rate envelopes without the original boxes, and they were all broken. In my mind, I'm trying to think, why would someone even do this unless he had broken ones and he swapped them for mine? But what is the point of keeping the box unless you have the original ones? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get to the
I didn't refund him.
Right?
I'm going to call eBay tomorrow. Hopefully
they'll walk you through how to do it.
And he does have one positive, so obviously he's a newbie, and hopefully they would trust me over him. But we'll see. Maybe they'll refund me back and him. Who knows?
Wow. So,
yeah,
they'll probably have you give 50% back to is probably what they'll do.
That was rough.
Standard shipping for cards is brutal. I lost 2 money back guarantee cases. It can affect your seller performance. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was why we did the one video a while back. Is are you working for Amazon and eBay basically?
Yeah.
Because you have to jump through their hoops, and they have to be aware that a lot of the people are scamming. They just absolutely have to be, and which it's fine. I mean, it's a cost of doing business. I understand that.
Right.
But when eBay and Amazon's cost of doing business is coming out of our pockets, that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
And again, in those cases where they refund you and the buyer, well, then obviously it's coming out of their pocket.
Yeah, and sometimes they do that too. So they're better than they have been in the past.
Starting on Amazon is a lot trickier, as you'll be gated for just about everything.
Yeah.
And they definitely have increased the number of items gated, and a lot of the comic books you can't sell, and Archie comics.
Look at the magazine category, book category now, and it's crazy. They're making it harder to list the items from scratch.
Yeah, nearly impossible on a lot of that stuff over there. So we picked up a couple of things. I went to the flea market, and we've got a Bolo video coming out where you had, and maybe it's come out already. I never know when anything posts. I don't pay a lot of attention. A calendar. Remember, you had sold a calendar as one of the Bolos.
Yes.
And so I was at the flea market, and somebody had a sealed calendar from 1999, and I think it was Tracy Porter. I think that was the name of the artist.
Okay.
50 cents. So I bought it and I listed it. Now it was sold out on Amazon and I couldn't find any elsewhere. So I put it up for $28 at auction on eBay. And somebody offered me $30 on it. And I said the next day, and I said, I don't know what it's worth, but paying 50 cents and I can flip it for $30 overnight.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that because I ended up spending $15 total at the flea market. So I'm basically out of the whole thing, made money off of one item. So
my range for calendars, $25 to $50, but we did have some Christie Brinkley's, those huge ones from the 80s. I think I had them for 50, 60. No, I think I had them for 75, 80 a piece. Some guy bought them all.
Oh,
he was collecting every year of hers, and there was one year we didn't have that he wanted, but he was international, and it was like a $400 or $500 order. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
I bought them from a local customer that was selling me adult stuff.
Now, were they sealed or open?
Those were open.
Those
Yeah,
were
those are
open.
those
Wow.
big. They're those giant ones. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, he bought them. Yeah, they're tough to find.
Yeah, so if you're out there, that is a little bonus bolo in here. Definitely do pick up, well, certainly the sealed ones, because a lot of people look at them and they say, what do I, who's going to possibly want this? 1999 is not coming around again.
Yeah.
I mean, we partied like it was 1999, but that was about the end
Some
of
of us did, sure.
So people don't put a lot of value on them, but other people, they do collect them. In fact, the main selling point of this calendar was that these were whatever size prints that you could take the prints out and hang them up. So they were meant to be taken apart for decorations anyway.
Sure.
So that's probably what the buyer's going to do. Going to take them, frame them up, and put them up nice.
Yeah. So we should discuss this bias that I had yesterday. The gentleman came in. I think he called ahead. He's selling toys, comic books. Yeah. Action figures, open, unopened, trade paperbacks, graphic novels. I said right up our alley. I'm here till 3:00. He came in around 2, and really good stuff. He had Transformer box sets, anime stuff. He had all kinds of stuff. Some of the trade paperbacks were like 30, 40, $50. He had some early Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So we went back and forth. I looked some stuff up. He didn't have an exact price that he wanted, and we came to an agreement on the price. He said, I was a little low on my offer, but he drove 2.5 hours from Pennsylvania. He goes, would you do an extra $100? I go, sure. So I said, by the way, why are you coming from Pennsylvania just to sell to me? So he said he did a Google search where he lives in Pennsylvania, and within like he was willing to drive about 3 hours or so to the best toy store that was reasonable, buying that was known for buying and very reliable and stuff, and good feedback. And he said I came top rated. So
very good. Very good.
Yeah, very happy about that. I gave him my card. I said, anything else, if we have to ship something or you want to ship stuff, we can do that too.
Yeah, especially coming from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Or just build it up and we'll do it, another trip in a month or two, whatever works. But he was happy. I was happy. He had some good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
All right. Let's see. We do not have deep pockets like Amazon, eBay, obviously. Yeah, for sure. They should insure all of our stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they've never really stood behind sellers. Buyers always come first for them.
Well, and that's understandable on the one hand, because without the buyers, none of us are in business. But
true. I got to say the sellers complain probably more than the buyers, though, I would think.
You can't start. Yeah, no, it is tough. It is tough selling on Amazon again because so many things are gated. And the other difficult thing about Amazon is depending upon where you're coming from. If you're coming from the eBay world, it's so different listing on Amazon. One thing that you'll have to get used to is Amazon tells you what the shipping is, basically.
True, yeah.
And that was always the thing that threw us off.
Oh, kills me.
Because we were selling books and you got this coffee table book and it was $3.99. And you're saying, look, it cost me, even back in 2008, it's going to cost me $5 to ship and you're giving me $3.99. I'm going to lose money on the shipping.
Well, toys are the worst because they think every toy is just like the size of a Hot Wheel. So, you could have a 36-inch Batman statue and they're giving you $4, or you can sell a little Hot Wheels and they're going to give you $4.50 for shipping. It doesn't make any sense. It's just no thought process behind their shipping.
A whole different world. Whole different world on that. So that's probably the number one difference on Amazon and eBay that you need to get used to, is just the shipping side of things. You'll be baffled at times because, again, like Mr. Magazine was saying, you'll wind up with some things you're going, how are they only giving me $4? And something else will be getting $6.48, and you'll be saying, this $6.48 thing is smaller than that other thing. How is that possible?
And it's definitely more cutthroat as far as people pricing under a penny, using the reprices. It definitely happens more on Amazon for sure.
Hey, Amazon Seller 99.
How's it going?
So as to the other sales, I did sell one postcard on Vivs-Views.
Steady.
Nothing on eBay for $1 million Peddlers. Nothing on Etsy. So I crashed and burned there. Did make a sale on Hip Comics yesterday, though.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Somebody bought 20 comic books from me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Unbelievable. I've never made a sale of that size on any other site other than eBay. I don't think I've ever done a sale that big on Amazon either. So
all the same title, I'm assuming?
No.
Really? Wow.
No, it was across like 5 different titles. Wow. Yeah. So hey, that pays for a year's worth of my hip comics. Can't argue with that. So, but slow week on Etsy, unfortunately. That's the one that I want to see go.
So the first warehouse video, nice content. Yep, I would admit to that. it's a tough situation. We do the best we can, but it seems to be there's always something more important to do. We are kicking in like a little thing on Fridays now, or if you like, whoever's pulling records has to fix some record boxes or neaten up the aisles and rows. But we got more shelving coming too, so maybe that'll help get some stuff off the floor.
Well, that kind of ties into the main topic that we'll be getting to shortly, and that's you've got employees. You're paying, we'll say all in, you're paying $20 for an hour. I think you're paying a little bit less than that right now, but all in with unemployment and comp, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
We'll say $20 an hour. If you were to pay me $20 for an hour and you were to hand me a bunch of stuff to list and you give me stuff on Amazon and I get 30 items up on Amazon, that in your head and a lot of people's head would justify that $20.
Yeah.
If you hand me $20 and you walk in tomorrow and an area is neat, that's just going to get messy again.
Right.
It's harder to just beyond the safety reason of, or the,
Well, and that's my pet peeve, the neatness inside these boxes. Because over time, you're pulling them off the shelf. You're yanking them halfway through the box, putting the box back. And we have boxes from 10, 11 years ago that they're all disheveled. They were near mint 10, 11 years ago. Now they're maybe VG. There's creases, it covers off some of them. And that really bothered me. So I was getting people to organize them, stack them nicely. But the way I look at it now, if they do that, say, once a month for 5 hours, and we have one magazine, under grade for a month, then I got to give a $10 refund to. It doesn't justify the difference, So we're better off doing what we're doing, trying our best to keep it neat and not worrying about the old stuff stacking it nicely. There are more expensive ones now that we bag them and board them so they don't get disheveled in a box. But it's tough being 100% organized in a place like that.
Well, and it's also tough because again, it's money out of your pocket.
Yeah,
that's the tough part about it. If you were puttering around the warehouse all day long and it was a hobby kind of thing for you, oh yeah, you can make everything a real nice, bag everything, alphabetize everything, everything's great, and great, I made a sale today, great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, real life doesn't allow you to do that, and you don't have the hours at a time to do it, and you have to pay somebody to do it, which is like a double hit to you.
Yeah.
And when you're paying them to do that, you're not paying them to list. You're not paying. You're paying them to be productive, but not financially productive.
Well, the only area in there that I feel is worth organizing, we probably do it every 6 months. I have an employee in my shop who's good at organizing. We send him up on the loft because the loft over time gets hundreds of empty boxes, hundreds of tubs, and you can't move in there. So, and I'm paying, for square footage, and I'm paying to have things with, no inventory in them. Like there's no value really to a used box or a used tub. So he comes in, we threw some stuff out, stack some stuff, and now we got a ton of room. Now we can make room for I got to have 50 cases of VHS tapes to bring upstairs and to the loft now. And now I can buy the shelving that we need, and we got an area to put the shelving. So it's kind of a system. We got to move something around to get something else in. We make it work that way.
Hey, Don Enforcer, another
How's it going?
guy was doing.
I love your last name.
Another guy that was doing some deep dives into some older videos.
Yeah.
So, you ended up, I think we talked about it last show. You ended up making the purchase from the lead that I got from the flea market.
Yes.
Yep. I think we had talked about that. So Mr. Magazine said to me, hey, when you see the guy that gave us the lead, give him a finder's fee. And, Mr. Magazine will reimburse me for it.
Yeah.
So I went up to the guy and I said, hey, how you doing? He goes, oh, I heard you guys bought the stuff from my friend and, it went well, and he's going to be calling you guys again, et cetera. Oh, yeah. And so I went to hand him some money and I go, here's for you, finder's fee, get yourself some lunch. And he was like taken aback by it. He was like, really? I go, yeah. You turned us on. I want to thank you for thinking of us and everything like that. Sure. Here you go. He's like, wow, thank you. Because apparently nobody else is giving finder's fees out there.
I've always done that. I mean, you want them coming back for more. You never know who knows who and what else they can find in the future. So you throw one guy a finder's fee, he may find 5 more deals for you.
Yep. I guess the only thing I would say about that is obviously if it's a small deal, you go and you buy 20 items. You spend $50 with somebody. You're not going to give a finder's fee because there's nothing to give a finder's fee on at that point. Sure. Speaking of which, I did get a lead from somebody, and I'm not going to give them a finder's fee, nothing personal. I ended up scheduling my work near where the buy was, so it worked out really, really well. I just took my lunch and went over there. They had 110 kids' books. They were moving out of state in the spring. Had about 110 kids books. I saw 2 good ones in there, and the rest of them are, little golden books and stuff from the 60s and 70s. Nothing great. I ended up giving $40 for it. They were happy to have them gone. I paid 35 cents a book, something like that. I'll make my $40 out of the 2 good books, and then the rest of the books will slowly get listed somewhere. They'll probably all go on Amazon, honestly, because they can list so fast. So not a great deal, but it's a deal.
I have an announcement.
Oh,
you know the announcement, but I'm going to tell everyone the announcement.
I don't listen to you.
I sent in 140 Victorian trade cards to SGC to get graded and authenticated. So originally the cost was supposed to be $30 a piece, but we had a bunch of oversized stuff. So they said they're $100 a card. So now I'm $11,000 all in. I said, let's do it. It's good trade cards. They're high grade. I know I'll get my money back. It's a great investment. So I send SGC $11,000, and they just came back a week later.
Ooh, you paid for super advanced grading.
Well, no, I didn't, because none of them were graded. It looks like they're too difficult and time consuming for them to grade, and they do not need my $11,000. So I was stuck there.
Tell you what, $5,000, I'll grade them for you.
Sure.
VG.
PGS, there's already a PGS company, I think. So we checked Beckett. Beckett won't touch them. PSA is the only one, but we have to wait till they lower their cost, because right now it's just $200 submission. So we're on the back burner for the time being.
Why don't you read that and comment about what Amazon Seller 99 is saying there?
Well, they're talking about and posting online. Looks like Amazon got rid of the blanket GTIN exemptions for many booksellers. Yeah, it's costing me some money, I think. Yeah, we're having trouble listing books and magazines on there.
Well, reach out to me, Amazon Seller, through the email on the channel. One of our subscribers did send me a link and did explain to me how to not get around it per se, but how to be able to get things listed. There's a way to do it. You have to get the okay from Amazon. You have to send them a little bit of things on each title that you have, type deal. But there is a way around it. And
well, that way it's still time consuming.
Oh, it definitely is time consuming.
And they don't answer you right back. You could get a week. It might take a week for one magazine or one book. It's crazy.
And you're not even certain that they're going to say okay. Yeah, that's the other problem too. Yep. And they actually want you at times. You have to say generic if it's a person's name is the publisher. It's a mess. I do have the directions on how to do it, though. I haven't done it yet, but I do have the directions.
All right. I do not know who HGA is, but I will definitely look into that and see if they will do that. I'm ready. I'm ready to get these things graded. So thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate the info. I will look into it.
Couple of other things. That I did set up one deal in Ohio, the one that you flipped over to me to buy. I did set that up with them. I haven't set up the exact time, but that's set up. The other one, the gentleman with the Craigslist stuff, he reposted the listing. So I commented to him on the repost, said, "Hey, are we still on? If you're not able to sell these," he's never commented back to me. So apparently he just likes to relist items time and time again on Craigslist and doesn't really want to sell them.
All right.
But apparently that's a regular thing on there, because one of the subscribers of the channel said that he had reached out to a gentleman multiple times on Craigslist. The guy just kept relisting the thing, and the guy said, "Hey, I'm interested. Let's work out a deal. I'm interested." The guy never answered him back, just kept reposting it. So I was like, okay, apparently that's your hobby. You can file GTN exemption for each publisher. Yeah, exactly. List that publisher name, and then you're supposed to use generic if it's one of those cases where it's the gentleman's name that he was publishing under his own name, kind of deal. So it sounds like you have the same information that I have, so I guess I can't email you anything because you know it already. Got a couple of other things going on. Got a buy coming up sometime early next week. Got reached out to by somebody that we both know, asking me, "Hey, I've got a lead on 700 magazines, Post and Life and Are you interested?" And I go, if cheap. And he says, "What's cheap enough? $1 a piece?" And I go, no. Local guy. Yeah. I said, no, $1 a piece is too much for me to be paying on those.
10 years ago, I would have jumped at it.
So he ended up buying them. I'm not sure what he paid on them, but I'm supposed to be heading out there. I've got to find some time or other around lunch to swing over by his store to pick, see what he's got and pick those up, and maybe take a look at some comics that he's got and other stuff just in general. And then a subscriber did reach out to us, which I had shown you some pictures that they had sent us. They do house cleanouts, and I'm going to be going over that way to the house they're cleaning out on Saturday.
Yeah.
About an hour away, something rather like that. And maybe, maybe with their permission, maybe I'll do some kind of a video out of that. So that would be,
Sure.
that would be kind of good. Grab a random neighborhood kid and have him head on over and put his muscles to work.
Yeah.
He's getting big and strong. So I'll have him carry a lot of boxes for me.
Yeah. For sure.
Maybe I'll even let him buy me breakfast. I haven't decided on that yet. We'll see.
Yeah, then we got one employee. Well, actually, Kevin was listing cards originally on Amazon. Now we bumped him to eBay. We got a new Amazon card lister. Sometimes you might have to add a scan in because sometimes it'll just have the card title and no picture. So we like to add our scans, which takes a little longer. But for the most part, there's more stuff. More cards are on there than you would think would be on there, especially older stuff from the 80s and 90s. So, prices are a little high, so sometimes they may or may not sell. But I think it's worth it if you got a lot of cards.
So before we head into the main topic, I wanted to tell a funny story about the flea market. For once, I'm going to try being funny on the channel. So I was at the flea, and there's do you remember we did a video a while back with the Harper's weekly magazines from the turn of the century? Yeah. And I had asked you what you would list on them. You said Statue of Liberty, and I said I would think so too, except they all had a Statue of Liberty on the cover.
Right, sure.
So this it's a dealer that picked up a nice collection of them, and he sells me a year's worth at a time every now and then.
Okay.
So I kind of walked by and he recognized me. He said, "Hey, are you in the market for some more Harpers?" And I said, "Yeah, just give me a call, whatever. Let me know. I'll buy them from you." He says, "Okay, great." So I'm kind of just looking around his booth, and all of a sudden this customer of his comes up to me and hands me this piece of paper,
right,
with his phone number on it, his name, and it says Postcards.
Right.
And I said, "Oh, thank you." So I take it and put it in my wallet, and the customer says, "Do you have a business card or something? Or can I have your number?" And I said, "Well, just give me my business card."
Yeah.
He said, "Okay." So I handed the customer a business card.
Right.
The dealer says to me, "Oh, can I have your business card? I don't have one either." "Oh yeah, no problem." So I gave him the business card.
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
So I'm all right, whatever. I've been dealing forever. Everybody around the area knows me. This guy's, give me his thing is in case I ever find postcards. Cool. So I walk on to the next stand. All of a sudden, the customer frantically comes running over to me. Hey. I go, "Yeah. Do you have my phone number and the piece of paper?" I go, "Yeah." "Why'd you take it?" I go, "'Cause you handed it to me." And he got all mad at me because apparently he wanted to give it to the dealer, not to me.
Oh.
But he wasn't paying any attention.
Yeah.
And he handed it to me. I mean, he's all mad at me that I took it. And I'm like, "'Cause you handed it to me. What am I going to do? I don't know. I deal in stuff. Maybe, maybe he knew me from somewhere. Maybe I dealt with him before.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd heard of me. I have no idea. He's handing me things, just postcards. Okay, if I come across a postcard collection, I'm going to give the guy a call.
Right.
But I'm thinking to myself, here you are having a conniption. It was a piece of paper you wrote your phone number on. You probably could write your phone number down on another piece of paper. You probably don't need that original piece of paper back."
Right.
And he was, and then I heard him talking to his buddy. "This guy just took my paper. He took my information. I can't believe it. Dude, you handed it to me. What am I supposed to do? Say, no, I don't take that?"
Well, it looks like we're in for a treat. 2 rambling stories of the week today, apparently.
Wow. That hurts. That really hurts.
It did make for a good rambling story of the week.
It was a good rambling story. It was a good one.
Yeah.
In about a year, I'll bring it out as a new rambling story of the week. Hopefully nobody, all new people that'll be watching go, "Really? People do that?" And I just thought it was hilarious. The guy was all upset. It's a piece of paper you wrote your name on. A bit of catch-22 because when you're running both aspects of it as small seller is definitely, it's definitely hard to build the business up. And again, I'm finding that
it takes time.
It really does. And the other thing too is a problem that I've always seen is a lot of people focus on the number of listings, and that's their big thing. I want to get to 5,000 listings, 10,000 listings, 15,000, whatever the number is. Well, the problem is if you're solely focused on that, sales hurt your goal.
Well, that's kind of happening to me right now because I bought so many cards during COVID, and I was walking, like I said, like a month ago, I'm walking through the warehouse, like there's probably like 100,000 cards. They have value there that I paid for. That's just sitting here. So, I mean, why am I buying them if I'm not listing them? That's when I hired the 2 listers because got to get them on, especially now. We'll try it out for Christmas. Hopefully we'll sell a crap load of cards at Christmas. We'll see.
Well, and that's the problem I'm running into.
Yeah.
Like I bought the 100, we'll just call them 100 children's books today.
Yeah.
I'm still digging out from other deals. I've got the deal this weekend. I have no idea how much stuff they found in the house, but they've got a lot of stuff in the house.
Yeah.
When am I going to get that listed? I've got the 700 magazines I'm looking at next week. I've got a couple of 100
Yeah.
magazines I'll be buying in Ohio. And
Yeah.
if the other guy does get back to me, it's 500 more. I'm a one-man band.
Yeah.
I can list 5,000 to 6,000 items a year. We're probably about 6,000 items on eBay a year is about where I can get to.
Well, just say you bought 10 collections in a year, you listed the good stuff, you have 10,000 magazines left over. Even if you wanted to flip them to me, I don't necessarily want them because I'm not going to get them on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just how it is.
Yeah. So, the deals are out there. Oh, I'm going to tell about another deal. See, if you would have taken this, another one of our subscribers had an opportunity to get this deal. They passed on it. They asked me about it the next day, and I hemmed and hawed and didn't really ask for the number because it's an incredible deal.
Yeah.
But when am I ever going to get listed? I guess I probably should ask for some more information on it. But what would you pay for 1,000 religious books?
Just various years, newer, older.
I didn't really get that far into it. And the reason why I didn't ask a lot of questions, I really don't want it. But
one of my new listers, not that he's good at books, but he likes listing books in magazines, like obscure stuff. So he's a little slower, but he's I tell you, he's good with detail. So I would buy it knowing that, hey, guess what I'm going to give him Monday? All these books, it might take him a week to list them or whatever, half a week, whatever. But I would guess $500, 50 cents.
$50.
Wow, you can't go wrong anywhere. Who bought it?
Nobody bought it yet that I'm aware of. So, so the subscriber,
there's
one
in there worth 50. Yeah.
Contact me and give me the information. I really don't want it, but
$51. I'll get them listed instead of the airplane books that's sitting on my loft.
Anyway, so now it's time to see who else is in the feed, and then we'll get on to the main topic.
I don't know if it's Bibles.
Oh yeah,
Bibles
hit the smash the like button, like the smash button,
of course.
There we go, of course. Oh wow, yeah, Hawaiian Bible. That's got to be really good. I'm going to go in a second rambling. A lot of rambling stories tonight. In all this time that I've done this, let me ask you this. Is there anything that you've sold that you look back on and you wish that you hadn't sold?
You know that one. We don't even have to talk about that.
Well, then name a different one.
Oh, the Will Chamberlain rookie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Right. But that was more for money, and you would have sold it to me otherwise. So
that is true. I'd probably be more bitter if you had it and you're showing it off to me.
Yes, I would walk around. I would put it on the top of my hat and walk around.
Maybe you'll say, well, you never sold me. They're just like all those high-grade magazines you never found.
Any other things like that for yourself that you would have kept for yourself that you sold that you're saying, oh, I wish I had kept it?
Well, I mean, I guess going back to when I needed some money when I got married, the Spider-Man comics in my collection, or Star Wars, like the warehouse when I had to come up with like 10 grand for shelving and labor. I sold the signed lightsabers out of my collection, stuff like that. I definitely regret because it's hard to replace it. And if I do want to replace it, they're 3 times, 5 times the price now. So it's like, forget about it. So, but someday I'll slowly but surely complete them again.
So I was at a sale and I ended up buying, and I paid good on it, and I made good money on it overall. But it was a missionary Bible, pocket size, written in the Dakota language, which is an indigenous people. So it was a missionary Bible. They had gone out to the reservation and they taught the Bible to the Native Americans. And that is probably the one piece that I regret ever selling. I think I paid $200 for it and sold it for $500 or something like that, or $600. I was still at the old house 7-8 years ago. So I needed the money
now, maybe.
Yeah, it isn't even the money. It was just that it was such a piece of history that I'm never going to come across again. And her talking about the Hawaiian Bible kind of kicked that into me to say, that is the one thing that I kind of wish that I had kept. Just kind of a neat piece of, I hate to get to be a history geek here, but it was the thing, I'm sitting there wondering, geez, what history is that Bible seen? Right. What did that go throughout the years, and how did it end up in upstate New York? A lot of questions.
Who knew it would have been a third rambling story of the night?
Nice. Hey, getting your money's worth tonight. Well worth the price of admission.
True.
Grab those books fast. Yeah, I know. I know. It's just a time thing is what it all comes down to. The day job. I don't have 5 extra minutes, unfortunately, at this
Well,
point.
you pay 50. I said I'd pay 500. You pay 50 and you flip them to me.
Then you lowered your offer to 51 when you heard what I was paying.
That's true.
We're going to head on into the main topic. And basically, today's main topic is, are you in business or have you bought yourself a job? And I think that's a really, really good question, because I think a lot of people have these dreams of freedom, which, yes, you don't have to punch the time clock.
Yeah.
But how many hours a week do you work?
80 to 90. It's got to be. With the weekends, I'm hitting the weekends harder now. Like, I used to be able to sleep until 4 or 5 o'clock on weekends, and it's 3 a.m. now every Saturday and Sunday. So.
Yeah, and I'm doing 90 a week as well, but I do have the day job as part of that. So we're at 50 on the business and 40 at the 40 at the day job. So would I make more money doing a straight 90 on the business? I don't know. The advantage that I have with the day job is it's a guaranteed money.
Right.
So that's definitely an advantage, but the disadvantage is that guy's got all those magazines. Well, I can't just drive over tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning when he opens the store and see him.
Yeah, well,
I got to work around it.
I mean, we're getting older, but what do you enjoy more?
95% of the time I enjoy not the day job.
Yeah. So say you split it down to 45 hours each, and you're happier making, what you make for the 45 hours listing. And say you're going to make a little bit less if you did 90 hours of all listing, but you're happier and you like it all the time, less stressful. You don't have to answer to anyone. So that's worth it right there. I would definitely, I love not answering anyone, but you got to make that decision in a couple of years.
Yeah, there's not much of a decision to make. Not much of a decision to make. I think I've already made that decision. I think I'm already mailing it in for the day job some days.
Freedom is definitely the goal.
Yeah, definitely is. But then you get into the other thing. There's a I'm going to say a local builder, but he's not a local builder. It's a national company that builds homes. And we laugh about it. My day job, I do meet a lot of contractors, and we laugh about it that basically all that the subcontractors that work for this home builder, all they've done is bought themselves a job.
Yeah.
They're basically they're doing slipshod work because they have to, because they're paid for volume. They're paid whatever. And I'm completely making these numbers up, but say that the going rate for something is $60 per square.
Yeah.
They're getting $50 per square. Well, you can't take the time to do quality at the 50. You just can't. You got to do extra work. And so what ends up happening is the subcontractors, the guy who runs the subcontracting business is making less money than his employee.
Yeah.
And he's got the insurance he's got to worry about the hiring.
Right.
But the trade-off is they keep him busy.
Yeah.
If he wants to work 7 days a week, he can work 7 days a week. They will keep him busy as long as he wants to work for them. Yeah. So there's no risk on that side. But one day they wake up 5 years later and realize that all they did was bought themselves a job.
Right.
And I'm afraid at times that's kind of what eBay and Amazon become for you and me and for everybody out there, is you bought yourself a job at times. I know a couple of years ago, I actually ran the numbers with the hours I was working about 3-4 years ago. And I would have done better having gotten a job at Walmart. And that was back when minimum wage was like $10.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Because I just wasn't making the money that I should. Now, there were a lot of different reasons for it, but I just wasn't making the money that I should. And I kind of stepped back and I said, I've definitely got to change things. So I guess that's the first thing I would say to you. If you run your numbers, and granted, freedom's part of it, but we're also doing it. I mean, we got bills to pay. All of us have bills to pay. Yeah. None of us are independently wealthy by any means. You got to do what you got to do. But if you step back and you look at it and you say, yeah, I got freedom, but I'm making $6 an hour.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. Right. Freedom is great, but maybe I should go get a job at $18 an hour, 4 hours a day, working overstocking shelves at Walmart, and then use the spare time to work on it.
Sure.
And I think we all have to take a step back, because I think you have this happen to you. It definitely happened to me, but I think this happens to you even more often than it does to me. How much time do you really get to step back and steer the ship?
Not a whole lot.
Right. Because you're so into the day to day. You're so into, this is happening right now. Oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to do this today.
I forget things all the time. I forget a meeting, an appointment, this or that. And thank God for my assistant manager. I mean, I hired him about a year ago, but I'm watching him, these last couple of weeks with these new employees. He's running back and forth, teaching to do this, teaching to do that. Not only do I hate teaching, them to list or whatever, and I haven't done it in a while, so I'm probably rusty at some of the new things, but like he's doing it all. He's teaching all of it. I can do my thing, which helps me, if I'm sorting orders or answering emails or working on the website, whatever, I can do my thing. And I prep everything for all the listers. That's definitely time consuming because we have more employees now, so that takes longer. But he was even doing that with me today because we got the 2 card listers. He was separating eBay, Amazon, and then high-end cards that he's in the list. I said, hey, I don't care if it takes 30 minutes. It's worth it because I don't have the time to do it. We can do it together, knock it out in 30 minutes. Now we're good for a couple days, So, thank God for him. He makes my life easier. And to me, that's what it comes down to. And I'm not saying my life or job is easy, but it's definitely way easier, and I couldn't do it without someone like that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't think working for yourself without a boss is ever the same as a job, but it may not be a business either. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a tough situation, and as far as that goes, because the freedom is great, but even then, unless you have your own website, and even with your own website, you're not completely free. Right. But you've got to listen to the eBays, you got to listen to the Amazon, and as you know, Amazon Seller 99, Amazon is tough.
Oh yeah.
They just end things.
It's so frustrating. Yeah, so frustrating.
The one that gets me on them is the list price for things that, you have a high price on something or other. And I see what a lot of people do to get around it. There was a comic book, not comic book, but a comic novel. Mm-hmm. Those 1970s novels that came out.
Yeah.
One of those I had, and they were all listed at $45. Well, they listed them in collectibles because Amazon would only let you list it for like $4 because the list price on it was $4. But you go on eBay and it goes for $45. It's a $40 to $45 item. Crazy. Is what it is.
Yeah.
But if you list it under used, and I know this because I listed under used, and I immediately got and I've never seen it this fast. They gave me a high price violation within under a minute.
Oh, I've had not that quick, but I've had some 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
Under a minute. I listed it and it's like, your item's been deactivated for high price. Like, high price, everybody's asking 45 and it goes for 45 on eBay, and I'm asking 44. I'm under what it's worth.
Yeah.
And I got a high price violation.
Yeah, I've been printing all those out now because ever since those 2 employees left, I'm on top of it. So anytime they end something high price or deactivate it, if it's expensive, we're pulling it and we put it on eBay. Because if you're going to relist it, it's going to be dead again.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, worst days or selling online is way better than best day tied to a cubicle and a desk. Yeah, that's. We don't talk too much about my day job, but the one advantage of my day job is I don't go into the office. I'm a field employee, so that definitely I can't imagine going to the same place in a cubicle in an office. I mean, I've got 2.5 years left, and I'm counting every minute to have it gone. And if I had to go to an office, I can't even imagine that. Yeah. So that's not good.
Eric can't depend on eBay to pay his bills. 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to get nervous. I was always worried about getting kicked off eBay and not Amazon. Like, I can survive with eBay and not Amazon. Now it's the other way around. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. But yeah, and like if Amazon suddenly, God forbid, they kicked me off, it would stink because I've got so many items listed on there. Yeah. But it's such a small part of my thing on there. But the other thing I wanted to bring up, which we talked about earlier, about that, and this is more for you. How much time do you waste in your job as far as running your business? And by that I mean, how many times do you end up doing a mundane task because you say to yourself, and I know you used to do this, you would say to yourself, I don't want to pay somebody to do this.
Right.
And then you're definitely undervaluing your time, because if you stop and you think about it, it's something that has to get done. These things have to get moved. Yeah. This has to get done. Yeah. But you're thinking to yourself, I can't justify paying $20 to have it done.
True.
But if you step back and you think about it, that means you're valuing your time at less than $20 for that hour.
But here's the way I look at it. I see what you're saying. And before I used to throw garbage out all the time and do all that. Now we designate certain people to do it on certain days, so it works out better. But as far as, let's say I want to throw out garbage tomorrow and it takes me 20 minutes. There's a lot of garbage.
Right. Well, I want to make a quick statement before.
Yeah.
This is assuming that it isn't something that you enjoy doing. In other words, let's just say that for whatever reason, you absolutely enjoyed shoveling the snow, or you
Right.
absolutely enjoyed sweeping the parking lot up.
Yeah.
That's not the best use of your time.
Right.
But if you enjoy being outside, breathing in the air,
Yeah.
sweeping and talking to customers as they
Sure.
walk in, by all means do
And
it.
I do that sometimes. I don't want to be the person that shovels every day or every week. Sometimes I'll have to do it because I'm the first one there. But I don't mind doing it sometimes. Like in the laundromat, I go in the laundromat in the middle of the day, and those bounce sheets are all over the floor, and they're slippery and dangerous, and you're going to trip on them. I don't want to send an employee over. It's going to take them 5 minutes. I'm over there. I pick them up. But if say something's a 20, 30-minute job,
Mhm.
and I don't mind doing it, say I got to do the garbage, and it's going to take me 20 minutes to break it down or whatever. Well, I look at it this way. Yeah, I'm paying him 20. My time is it really worth less than 20? I look at it as I'm not listing right now. I'm not making the company money that way. Whereas if I'm doing that for 20 minutes, this person could list $500 in items. Or am I going to pull them off from that? Because a lot of these guys are newbies, so they're a little slower. They're getting to their numbers. They're better than they were. But if I want him to get to 20 an hour or something, taking him off a task and having him do cardboard, yeah, he should do it over me, but sometimes I don't mind doing it, and he can continue.
Well, I think that's the key is whether you mind or don't mind, or
Right.
if you see that they're in a zone.
Yeah, if it's something I don't want to do, I don't mean to interrupt you, but if it's something I don't want to do, I don't want to carry pallets up onto the loft, so that's something. Hey, I tell my manager and someone else, hey, get a couple guys, get them up there, get it out of the way, get it done.
Right, but let's say that for whatever reason you wanted to do that because you couldn't get to the gym regularly, and you're like, hey, something, the only thing I get is carrying boxes around here.
Right.
Yes, it's not the best use of my time, but I enjoy doing it, and it has to be done. That's again, that's a whole different story.
Prepping orders, sorting, things like that. I've been getting all the loose toys in one area, all the binders of sets in one area, getting ready so it's easier to list when they're all together. I don't mind doing stuff like that. All the prepping, I don't mind doing that. That's fun for me. Moving boxes, I generally don't do that unless I need. I do unload and load the trucks.
Right. Some deal comes
or
in,
with the shelving coming in. I like to be the foreman on a job because I will help. Let's say it's a 3 or 4 person job. I know how I want them and where I want them stored, so I got to be involved on that.
I just wanted to bring that up, in case you hadn't thought about that. About
sure.
you would be valuing yourself at that number. I've just started paying people to do things for me. Never would have before, but now my time is worth more money. Yeah, and that's definitely and that thing that was kind of eye opening to me, and I may or may not agree with his numbers, but Auction Professor has said that any number of times that you got to put a value on your time. And I think his value on an hour, I think he was saying, is about $125. Yeah. So if he can't make $125 in that hour,
sure,
he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. Leave out the things that he enjoys doing, of course.
Right. Sure.
And I know I'm definitely guilty of it. I putter around an awful lot. I'm absolutely terrible at this point on eBay. But it's also because when I say eBay, I also mean Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. But it's also because I've got the day job. And what was it the other day? I ended up Evergreen magazines. We've talked about those before. Yeah. One of them had an article on Rikers Island, and it was a 4-page article. Yeah, don't you know? I get into reading this article, and 15 minutes later, I'm start listing the item because I read the article.
Right.
But because it's my side job as opposed to my main job, I have the ability to do that. Sure. Now, obviously, if I were paying an employee and I said, what'd you do the last half hour? I just read this fascinating article about Rikers Island. I might be a little bit upset with them. So I do have that ability to do that, but that also gives me the enjoyment out of it.
Sure.
So anybody out there that does do this and it's not their primary income, don't feel guilty about doing something other like that, because you do have to get some enjoyment about it. And to be honest, when am I ever going to read a 1968 article about Rikers Island again? If that's something that interests me.
Right.
I'm never going to, I probably get the magazine at some point in the future, but I'm never going to have that opportunity again. I didn't have anything pressing to do, so I sat down and I read it. And, it's something other that I enjoyed. So that's good too.
Very cool.
Walmart is hiring 500 truck drivers for $85K a year and a 10K or 12K signing bonus. Wow. So if you can drive a truck, not too shabby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Eric's not applying for that job.
Yeah. You think my lack of depth perception, they're going to be signing me up anytime soon?
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed. Yeah.
I can run over his Chevy Cobalt.
I don't know how you pass your driver's test to get your license renewed.
I don't know either.
For prepping, we'll go with magazines and we'll go with sports cards. For magazines, I have certain listers that can list eBay better than others, certain ones that are better with Amazon. So I'll say, hey, I think this is on Amazon. I want him to list this one. This is pretty obscure. No shot on Amazon, or no one would look on Amazon to buy this, so we'll put it on eBay. Or if there's just people that I don't think they would recognize, or if it's a Norman Rockwell cover, I'll make sure I'll put a post-it arrow to Norman Rockwell's name or whatever, things like that. For sports cards, it's kind of the same thing. Normal, common base stuff will be on Amazon. Once you start getting into numbered cards, variations and stuff, they'll be on eBay. So we'll have to separate it. I do it by dollar amount. A certain lister's going to get $10 to $15 cards on Amazon. Next one might get $10 to $20 cards on eBay. And then my system manager will get $50 or $100 cards on eBay. So that's my system. Kind of, I think that works for me. But it's time consuming, but it's better for the business, and everyone's learning as they're going, and I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, and again, and I think that's one of the keys out there is, and if you want to reach out to us in the chat right now, just kind of curious about what mundane tasks that are part of it that you enjoy doing. You were saying you enjoy the prepping.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting into just a deep dive into magazines and, finding, and again, it isn't really part of the job, but it is part of the job, because I guess I don't have to read every article.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But when you're looking through the table of contents and it's all Greek to you because you see 5 people's names, none of which you really know a lot about, especially you get into some of those men's magazines like True and Saga and things like that. And it'll list like, he tamed the wilderness.
Right.
You're like, okay, I have no idea. So you got to flip to the page anyway.
Sure.
There was one this morning, and I can't think of the guy's last name. Pink Higgins was the guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the table of contents. And I said, who the heck is Pink Higgins? Well, I went and read it, and he killed 20 people in the Wild West and all this stuff. And now I know who Pink Higgins is.
Right.
So it was a 3-minute deep dive into Pink Higgins' life.
Yeah.
And now I know about it. And if I ever happen to see his name somewhere again, I don't ever have to look it up again. Well, obviously, a name like boy named Pink, I'm thinking almost like the boy named Sue. I think he might have had a lot of people bothering him throughout life, and that's why he had to kill 20 people. But, I get enjoyment out of that, but it can also help me in the long term because now I know who Pink Higgins is, et cetera, et cetera.
I got an answer for that. You open up a retail store and you sell them for $1 each. That's what I do with them.
You also could lot them by
you
team
could lot them by player
or
sure.
or brand.
Yeah.
A lot of
digging into
different
collections for the treasure hunt also. Yeah. We all love that.
Yeah, that's always the most fun. Some collection comes in, you start sorting it out, and you don't know exactly what's in there, and you start picking out the obscure stuff to list, et cetera, et cetera. That's a lot of fun on it. And again, I probably spend more time than I really should. I mean, yes, you do save time by organizing, obviously, because if you've got 50 magazines, you organize them by title, and then you can list the 15 of the same title in a row. You save time as opposed to one.
Yeah, my one magazine lister does that. Yeah, he sorts everything out by title and he flies through them. What's that say? I can't read it.
Oh, hit the like button. I don't know there would be a reading test on here tonight.
By the way, I'm getting a first class airplane ticket for Retrohead. I'm going to hire him to do my shipping because he really likes shipping. And that's the hardest. I think that's the hardest job of anyone that works for me. Just seeing that we're trying to get new people to help out my manager who does the packing, and mistakes are made very easily if you're not paying attention.
Funny you say that. I don't mean to cut you off, but I actually had, and the way I do the shipping, and I like the shipping. I tend to find it therapeutic, believe it or not. On the shipping side of things, I can see where somebody like Dawn, I know Dawn sells a lot of breakables.
Yeah.
I would abhor shipping in that instance.
Yeah.
But as we've talked before, and you have it too, you sell some bigger things and that kind of thing. So that makes it a little difficult.
Yeah.
But I tend to sell things that fit into one of 4 different size envelopes.
Right.
And I've got the exact size cardboard, exact size bag. So it's just, boom, 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 boom. But I had a case where, and thank goodness that the one was international. Because when you print out the shipping on eBay for the international standard, you get the label and then you have the blank side.
Right.
So I sold something or other. So I tend to find 2 items at a time and then print shipping out for them and then find 2 more items because I can remember 2 items. So I'm looking for these 2 items. I find them, bring them upstairs by shipping. So I go downstairs and I pack the one and I put the label on it and I go grab the other label and I'm like, wait a minute, this is the international label.
Yeah.
And I just packed the international thing up and I put the wrong label on
I've
it.
done that before. Yeah.
Thank goodness it was international,
Yeah.
because if it weren't international and they both had writing on both sides,
Right.
I probably would never have noticed it.
Yeah.
But because it was the international, I said, "Oh, I can't send that out." Can you imagine sending out an international one?
I print out a picture of the item because you just can't print the label because it doesn't tell you what it is. So I print the picture, and it's usually 3 sheets come out. But at least you can't, because we had issues in the past where they pull the wrong item, and now you're paying $30 to ship it, and it's the wrong item. So now they have what's pictured on eBay. They know what they're getting. They're not going to mess that up. But one time I did, because of the multiple sheets for the one picture, I did put it on the wrong order and went out, overseas. It was my mistake, but
yeah.
it
Okay,
does- it
Amazon
does
Seller
happen.
99. You do not want to hire me because I will be reading all the books also. You do not want to hire me.
Well, my laser disc guy loves lasers. He goes, "Oh, I might get distracted." And he's like, "Well, try your best not to."
Let's get a scanner. The auction professor recommended so I can scan my cheap cards and bulk list quickly. Yeah. Yep.
You know what scanner that is? Do I need to buy that?
I think you've got a similar one.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got a similar one
Good to
for
know.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. If I could outsource part of my work, it would be shipping. See, there you go. We got somebody in here that likes the shipping, so he's gonna hate shipping by the end of this thing because everybody's gonna reach out to him.
Yeah, we've had some issues the last few weeks as we're training guys. We got a record that wasn't cleaned; it was dirty. They complained. We had wrong items like on top of each other when they're on a shelf, pulled with the order. Somehow they got swapped.
Well, here's the thing. You just mentioned records.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, records are the most hated thing for people to pack.
Trouble, problems, pain.
Nobody likes it.
No, I know.
I hate packing records for one reason and one reason alone. I can never make the boxes look pretty. You've seen the boxes when I send them out. They're terrible. There's an art form to making those boxes for certain. I like shipping better than listing. There you go. Oh, we got 2 people in here that like shipping and a couple of people in here that like listing. And meanwhile, Amazon Seller 99 and me are sitting off in the corner reading books. We took it story hour.
Yeah.
It's like kindergarten for the 2 of us.
Yeah.
Global sales shiner is a problem. Now what do I do? If you used eBay Standard International, you should be fine on that, unless they're doing the return. That's always a problem on those. Hopefully you don't have it checked for where you pay for the returns on the international, though.
Yeah.
Does not default to having that checked because that could get super expensive.
Yeah,
what do you do? Is you have people like, overseas having issues? You just try to get them to take a refund?
Yeah, partial refund to keep it because they don't want to ship it either, so we'll try and work somehow that way. I don't like sending it out. If it's expensive, I might want to send something else out, but very rarely. So, but yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Wrong item can be a costly mistake. Well, here's a fun one. And when you're training like the new employees, there's always one incident that could have happened 5 years ago that you really don't think about, training them and adding this little tidbit. So we had DVDs, 3, and I think we got them in boxes where they were kind of alphabetized. Okay. 3 different Poseidon Adventure movies. Did you even know there was 3 different? So there was the original, the remake, and then a TV miniseries. So, well, guess what? They all say Poseidon Adventure on the listing. So the guy pulling the order, the puller, pulled the wrong one. It went out, it was $20. It went out wrong. Okay. Now we have a guy that bought another one. Well, it's not in the box because that was shipped out wrong. Right. So I tell the new lister, I go, geez, I didn't think of this, but in the future, if you get anything like that, put them in different boxes because you can't really blame the puller for it. If you're looking everything up, you're going to see that the cover is different, but that would take a lot more time to look everything up. Poseidon Adventure, that's a no-brainer. Hey, so it should say Poseidon Adventure. That's it. But with the odd rare occasion, there was 3 different ones in the box.
I guess if you are going to put them in the same box, put all 3 right next to each other so that the lister or the puller sees it, pulls one out and goes, hey, wait a minute.
Hopefully you would see that.
Hey, wait a minute. And pulls all 3 of them out and then goes to check it down a little deeper. Yeah. Hey, man, Jesus reseller. When did you come in the house? I didn't see him come in.
Yeah.
Got a fancy shot, shipping-wise, ship place. Oh, yeah. Franking boxing. Yeah. Throwing together a couple there. You've done that a few
many
times.
Many times. Anything big, for sure. Yeah, they look like little characters sitting in there. Yeah.
Speaking of shipping supplies, don't forget to use your coupons before the end of the month. Yeah, that's good point on that. And another thing that we definitely want to do is which we'd mentioned earlier. I'm gonna actually change up the rambling story of the week.
Wow.
I'll use the one that I have here next week. And this is kind of just not so much a rambling story per se, but just kind of a rambling commentary. So I went to my day job took me to a local farm market today.
Okay.
And you know that there's been some problems with supply chain.
Yes.
Do you know? Sure. Do you know what is getting hit with the supply chain at this point?
No.
Beer.
Oh, really?
There are types of beer that cannot be had. I just read that in Britain, they're having major problems with gasoline. Major problems with gasoline. They can't get gasoline in a lot of these different areas. Paint. Good luck getting paint. And so on and so on. All these different things are having major problems with supply chain. And I bring that up because use your coupon, order your supplies, order the post office supplies, order your supplies now, because there were problems last year with supplies, which we all remember.
Priority flat rate and padded.
Padded were terrible.
They were a month behind.
So crazy. This is just your pal Papergoy telling you, order your supplies now. There are supply chain problems across so many different industries right now. And we all know about cars. Good luck finding a new car, et cetera, because of the chips. There have been problems with appliances for a long time, et cetera, et cetera. Some things in the supermarkets are actually having trouble getting right now. When I was over at the farm market, they told me that they buy pierogies from a local source. They cannot order the pulled pork or the chicken wing flavored pierogies because of supply chain problems. So there's problems with chicken and pork at this point.
Quarters.
Yeah, just so many different things. So get those supplied, order right now. So this was a PSA rambling story of the week. Nice. But you'll definitely be happy that you did it, because again, you don't want to run out of supplies, because that makes it real tough. People get a little upset when you just throw a postage stamp and write their address on their item.
Yeah, that's not good.
For some reason, I don't really like that.
Yeah, wrap it in a Ziploc bag. But with supply costs going up, you have to raise your prices. I mean, I certainly do. If I'm selling, 200-300 items a day, every package is cost me $1 more, let's say. I mean, that's brutal.
Well, the postage is going up as far as that goes. And we've also got the situation where we've purchased from a few different suppliers on eBay, and we've gotten emails from them last month where they were saying, buy now to avoid increases in our prices.
Yeah.
Because they're raising their prices as well. Sure. And I don't know if you saw this or not. Another thing out there, the post office is actually changing the size of some of their boxes. They're going to be changing the flat rate priority box size, making it a little bit smaller. And a few other boxes, they're all also downsizing a little bit. Now, you are allowed to use your old inventory.
Oh, good.
But when you order new inventory, it's going to be the smaller new size.
A crap load of it.
Before
is this happening next year or this year?
Might have happened already. If not, it'll be happening very, very soon. So they're lowering or making the boxes a little bit smaller, which kind of stinks for you, because you've been doing it so long. X number, whatever.
We know how many magazines fit in the medium, how many magazines fit in the large, regional A, regional B. Yeah.
And now, they're also changing the regional size too, making those a little bit smaller, I believe. So they're lowering the size as well, along with increasing postage and slowing things down. Thank you, USPS.
Yeah, definitely. You got to raise your price. And with the minimum wage going up again in January, which is expected, I'm going to raise my price on some of my items that we're listing. So the minimum, say it used to be 15, it might be 17 now. You got to do something.
Well, here's the crazy thing. You're raising your price from 15 to 17 and you're breaking even. You're not making any more money, and you're getting $2 more and you're paying a little more in taxes. So they got you coming and they got you going. They really do.
Yeah. But even the laundromat, we're going to raise prices this year. And we've got the 5 new machines coming and the credit card machine. So that's expensive. Got to raise the price. It's been 5 years, so.
Yeah, you absolutely have to.
Expect. It's not a lot, but, quarter, 50 cents here and there adds up.
Now we're going to take one last quick stroll through the feed over here. Do hit the like button if you haven't already. And like to thank everybody that came in. We had a nice crew. We had some good conversation tonight. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, Eric's a lover, not a fighter, and he'd like to be a bouncer at a strip club. All right, moving on.
Moving on. We all have to have dreams.
Exactly.
We all have to have dreams.
Exactly.
Well, you know what you need to do, Eric? If you want to make that come true, you got to be a buff guy. In order to become a buff guy, I think what you need to do is you need to come to Mr. Magazines and apply. Yeah. He's got some pallets you can carry around and some boxes you can carry around.
For sure.
Before you know it, you'll be buff and you can reach that childhood dream.
Holiday season's around the corner. We're going to need some, strong dudes.
There you go. There you go. All right, everybody. Well, thank everybody for coming on out. It was actually a really fun show. And tomorrow we got a regular video coming out. Saturday we got the bolo, and Tuesday part 2 of the warehouse. I think we're up to 6 warehouse videos at this point.
Good thing I cut you short last time because I felt another one coming along with that loft area. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, we've got, I believe, 6 filmed, and we got a couple of more to work on. Probably end up being probably a 10-part series. Nice. But it's amazing. Just, I mean, again, 20,000 square feet. It's really a lot of fun going through it, and I'm learning stuff as I go through it too.
Yeah, we will try and clean it up for the next shoot. I'm just kidding. We will not, but it'll look better.
Well, it's right there with the Instagram and the employee handbook.
Exactly.
Yeah, you Instagrammed out your employee.
If there were only 40 hours in a day, we would be golden.
You Instagrammed out your employee handbook saying sweep up.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, hit the like button. We will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.